Spider-Man is one of the most iconic characters in comics. He's had 5 films, too many TV shows to count, and has been around since 1962. But what if he faced his successor? Miles Morales is the second person to take up the mantle of the Ultimate Spider-Man from Peter Parker. No, not that Peter Parker. The Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe. Duh. Now that that dumb joke is over, let's compare the origins, strengths, and likability of each character to see which character is the better Spider-Man. Let's begin with the origins of Peter Parker. Teenage nerd lives with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben living an unfulfilling life. He gets bitten by a radioactive spider and gets bestowed crazy spider powers and uses them to make money in the wrestling business, until his uncle died. Once Peter found his uncle's killer, he realized that he was partially responsible for his uncle's death. After that day, he vowed to use his powers to make the streets of New York safer by stopping crime and officially became the hero known as Spider-Man. Or the Amazing Spider-Man, whatever floats your boat. Moving on to Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man. On Earth 1610, a boy named Peter Parker gains the powers of a spider and becomes Spider-Man, and a few years later dies to the Green Goblin. But before he died, a boy named Miles Morales gained the powers of a spider. Not wanting to carry the burden of a hero, Miles keeps his powers hidden from the world, until the death of Spider-Man. Feeling as if he could have done something, Miles feels a guilt similar to Peter's guilt for the death of Uncle Ben. Miles then realizes that the role of Spider-Man is empty and the only one who could fill that role is him. Miles then accepts his responsibility and continues the legacy of the Ultimate Spider-Man. In my opinion, I think Miles' origin is better. I think the motivation for Miles to become a hero is better than Peter's motivation. Peter becomes Spider-Man just because of the guilt of his uncle's death, while Miles becomes Spider-Man due to a mixture of guilt and necessity. Miles needs to take the burden of Spider-Man because there's no one else to take the title. He also needs to fight fully developed villains who fought Spider-Man before while being completely untrained, which makes his dilemma more interesting. So this round goes to Miles for the better origin. Next, let's focus on the strengths and powers of each character and see who would win in a fight. First, let's go over the powers of Peter Parker. When Peter was bitten by a radioactive spider, he gained superhuman strength, the ability to climb on walls, enhanced agility, and a spider sense, which is pretty much a cognitive sense that warns the user of oncoming threats, whether they're immediate or not. Peter is also skilled in hand-to-hand combat due to his years of experience fighting criminals and supervillains. Now, let's move on to Miles. Miles has all the powers that Peter has, the only difference being his spider sense is weaker than Peter's. He also has 2 more powers than Peter. Those 2 powers are invisibility and a venom blast, which is like the world's most powerful taser stuffed into Miles' body. It can render people unconscious, paralyze them for short periods of time, and can travel through any object Miles touches. If these 2 were to battle in New York, I think Peter would win. The main reason would be because Peter's spider sense would be able to warn him of Miles' venom blasts, and would help him when Miles goes invisible. Peter is also more skilled in hand-to-hand combat, so he would be able to outmaneuver Miles better and get more hits. So this round goes to Peter for being the better fighter. This last round of likability is very subjective, so I decided to tally up all the worst things that each character has done or will do and see who is less likable. Let's begin the round with the worst things that Miles has done and will do. Miles doesn't help save the first Spider-Man. He kills his own uncle, who was a supervillain, but still. He indirectly caused the death of his own mother. He dated a Hydra agent without knowing that she was a Hydra agent, and will kill Captain America in the future because he's a brainwashed Hydra agent. Now it's Peter's turn. Peter indirectly killed his own uncle, indirectly killed Gwen Stacy, his own girlfriend, indirectly got his aunt shot, nearly killing her. He's had over 19 love interests, one of those love interests being a criminal. This is where things start to get weird. He made a deal with the devil. He kissed his dead girlfriend's rapidly aging daughter, and also this. Now, I'm not actually going to count that last one, since it's not canon, but there's still a clear winner here. Now, the prize for Best Spider-Man goes to Miles Morales. Now, if you guys disagree with me, tell me why in the comments down below. I am planning to make more videos like this, comparing two characters, not only in a fight, but rather overall. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. That was the shortest recording session I have ever had. Wow. I only need to go through 20 minutes of recording. Frick's sake! Oh my gosh, it's still extremely long.